Hey guys, and welcome back to this week's update on the 30-gallon mixed reef, and today I'm going to be showing you the new livestock that I got. So in the tank you can see the rock has gone from a really bright white colour, like the same colour as the sand, and now it's turned into a quite brown. Loads of brown has populated, so I need something to consume that. There is vibrant that I was dosing for quite a while, but that's led to cyanobacteria. So I've completely came off the dose of that. I came off that about a month ago. So the other option is cleanup crew. So I've added in, you can see him at the back right there, a Mexican turbo snail. He's done a brilliant job. You can see up here, this area mainly is a little bit more whiter than the rest of the rock. He's only been in there for a few days, so he hasn't done a ton, but he's cleaned up quite a bit considering he's only been in there a few days. The skimmer's all nice and clean. That had lots of red fluffy stuff like this filter has on there. See all that red? This had the same thing. You see the difference between the two. I'm going to add in a second one from my dad's. This is from my dad's tank, this snail. I'm going to get another one from his as well, to do just to speed things up a little bit, keep on top of the algae. A little bit of brown has started to populate in the sand. I could re-enter my conch, which is in my dad's tank, because it kept on moving my zoas. I'm not going to add him back in yet until the zoas are settled in and grown onto the rock, which is going to take about a month at the most. So then I'm going to add him back in and hopefully he can take care of the sand. The reason I didn't have a snail in before is because I absolutely hate them. I hate cleanup crew. They move your corals. They even move rocks sometimes. In my little nano tank, I have my Mexican turbo snails actually move rubble rocks, and actually some decent sized rocks. Kept on rotating them and knocking them over and stuff. They just bulldoze everything, and it was very, very annoying. So I had to take those out, but I have no choice but to add them back in again. I'm only going to put in two, and I have glued in all of my corals. As you can see, some corals are in different places now. The frag rack's gone. I've put in this little one in the top corner by the skimmer. So I haven't just added in this snail, I've also got two new corals for this tank, which I didn't actually pay for. It was a little early Christmas present from a guy called Ian's Coral Reef. He's got a YouTube channel, got a couple thousand subscribers, does really good videos. The link to his channel will be in the description. So I want to give a shout out to him. He gave me, if I give you a close up here, it did fall over, but a frog spawn coral. This is that's the hammer there, and I've got the frog spawn here. It was on top of the rock, but it fell over literally just a few minutes ago. I didn't want to pick it up because I didn't want to shoot the polyps in for the video, so there's nothing I can do about that. But I'm going to glue it. If I zoom out, I'm going to glue him right on the edge of that rock, and then kind of face him out so the hammer and the frog spawn are touching, which they can do. Hammers and frog spawns can mix together without any attacking each other, stinging each other. It's just torches you can't mix with the two, but frog spawn hammer's completely fine. The colour's not there with it, or the polyps. Well, the polyps are semi out, but mainly the colour. But this is a pink millipora he also gave to me. A nice little frag of it, waiting for it to base out first, and then it should grow out nicely at the back there, getting a decent amount of flow, pretty good lighting. I do have a green millipora in here somewhere. There it is. I have a green one, and I've got a pink one as well. I don't know if you can mix them. I'm not too sure if you can. Something I might look into. But yeah, I want to thank Ian's Coral Reef to giving me these two corals. Really nice additions. I was actually looking forward to getting a bit of frog spawn from my dad's tank over the next few months. Once his grows out a bit, try and get a frag off that. But no longer have to, because he's given me this piece. And the pink millie, very, very nice coral once it's coloured up nicely. Some of the corals that I glued would be, I've got that red digi down there by where the light reflection is. We've got the hammer that isn't glued because it's a big colony. I don't think it's small enough to be moved by a snail. It should be fine there. We've got the red digi up there, stylo 4 at the back, green hystrix, elkhorn in the centre, right next to that fish there. We've got two plates down there, the green and the red, which looks a bit brown, but at the bottom. We've got this coral here, I think it's an acro, not too sure what it is, that little green one. suit is on the corner. I had to re-glue this because it fell off. I kind of accidentally knocked it whilst doing a water change, which was yesterday. Did another 60% water change. So just glued with the ones that were on the frag rack, and the ones that I'm not using are up on here. I'm not too sure whether or not I want this one, this dark green barley slimer. It's alright, but I don't think it's worth having in the tank, really. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I just got some frags of, I've got the candy cane hammer and a piece of red dish tartar. Lots of hair algae on a lot of it, a bit of cyanobacteria as well. That's why I've put them up here. Some of them are recovering. The hammer's doing alright, it's just I can't get all that hair algae off. I think I'm going to get the Mexican turbo snail, just pick him up and just place him on there, and hopefully he eats it up. I would brush it, but I don't want to damage the flesh of the coral. I did try that with the green star polyps at the back. You can see how it turned out. Yeah, yeah, you learn by your mistakes though. The rest of the GSP is fine. I'm just going to peel that piece off because that's not, it's hanging. It's not even on the back properly, so I'm just going to leave that bit up there. So I'm not even too sure what this coral is. It's got polyps. It looks like a green plate. I have no idea how I got it, where it even came from, but it's completely brown out. It's got slightly dark green polyps, so I'd guess a green plate of some sort, the same as that, but really brown. I guess we're going to find out if it makes it over the next few months, whether or not, I'm going to keep it or not. Did a little bit of repositioning with the wave pumps. This one's kind of, it was right up against the skimmer, but I've pulled it forwards a little bit to get more flow around the front area and down this area more. So he's kind of angled up to get a bit of surface vegetation. The flow's off at the moment, so I can get a bit of a top-down view. This one's the same. He's kind of pointing down here. Pushes a bit of sand away down here, but that's why I've placed the green star polyps down here. Another piece. This is a different strain to that one. That's why I'm not mixing them together, because they will attack each other. They're slightly different strains. This coral here, the only reason I'm keeping it is because it's the first ever coral I ever bought. Literally the first, exactly the same coral, not just a fragment of my first coral, this exactly the same, on the same frag disc. I've had this guy for a couple of years now, I think, nearly, so he should, he grows really slowly, so he should eventually take up this whole glass bottom on here. The peacock wrasse, as I mentioned in the last video, is still acting funny. Looks only just alive, but he has been swimming a little bit. He's kind of just been hovering over the sand a lot in this corner by the clownfish, and then he kind of just goes round by the zoas, waits for food, but then he doesn't eat it, and it's just, I don't know what's up with him really. It's been weeks since I last did the new scape, and ever since he's just been in a bad mood. All the other fish are fine, all the other corals are fine, water parameters perfect. I'm keeping on top of maintenance, doing water changes. He has absolutely nothing to complain about, and yeah, he still sulks next to the zoas here. I don't know what the issue is. I got no comments on the last video about what it could be, but I guess no one knows really. It's a complete mystery. He's one of my favourite, well, he is my favourite fish in here because of his colour, and he's very active, but at the moment he's not very active. So I don't know what the issue is. Hopefully he recovers over the next week. I'll give you updates every video, just seeing how he's doing. Hopefully he should be alright. I think he's going to be alright. There's no white spot on him. I've definitely checked him for that. It's the first thing I checked. But yeah, hopefully he recovers from whatever he's got. But you see all the other fish are swimming about, mainly because I've turned the flow off. I turned the flow off for feeding, and they kind of just come out, which I've got this feed pipe here. I put food in there, and they slowly drop out the bottom. This wrasse here is the greediest one. He hovers over this pipe for virtually all day, waiting for food. I've added in a lot of Coralline algae from my dad's tank. He scraped loads of it off the back of his tank, and then we crushed it all up into grains of sand, literally really small pieces, and sprinkled it all over the scape, all over the water. Literally went everywhere. So I guess hopefully Coralline should start on the rocks and the back wall, mainly the back wall, because I've never had Coralline on the back wall. I had a bit on the rock on the old scape, but it kind of got suffocated by algae and I didn't really see it. So we should start seeing over the next few weeks pepperings of Coralline algae. I'll keep you posted on that. So I think that'll do it on this week's update on the 30-gallon mixed reef. Next week, I'm not really too sure what to expect. Hopefully the peacock grass has improved. We'll see how these new corals settle in. I'm going to add in a second Mexican turbo snail. And I'm going to do a little bit more adjusting with the wave pumps. This one I'm not too sure what I'm doing with this one yet. Might change it a little bit, just pull it forwards a little bit closer to the glass. Not really too sure, but I'm still tweaking stuff. Because it's a new scape, I've got a different I've got a different flow pan, so I've got to change things. Now I've glued all the corals in place, things are a little bit more complicated with flow, as they always are really. So I'll see you guys next week with another update. Bye.